Good morning YouTube and the internet. You would have seen in my last video this car, AE 92 Corolla 1989, 5-speed manual, 144,000 Ks on the clock. Picked it up for $1,500. This is a short-term stand-in replacement for 300ZX because my son is going to need something to drive. He's finishing high school very shortly. She needs a wash. Aside from that, it's not too bad. Now, I've already filmed all this, but when I filmed all this, it was all on the pretense that I was about to buy this particular set of wheels for this car, because it needs tyres to get registered because they're too old, they're split and degraded. They got plenty of tread, but they're not safe, and they wouldn't pass a roadworthy. So that needs to be done before I can register it. And I filmed everything around it, and then this deal was sort of never happened to get these wheels and tyres. And long story short, that was like 2 weeks ago, and I haven't put anything out, and I got sick of waiting because I need this thing to be running and on the road. So I just went and bought some wraps off eBay. So that's that sorted. I didn't get exactly the offset I wanted, so I won't fill the guards as much as I would like, but look, they'll look nice. They'll do the job on this thing. So here's inside it. Door card's still intact. The Australian sun has done what it does best and destroyed all the plastics. Like here, you can see up there. The roof liner does not sag and is not torn. The dash, the OE mat, is not cracked. That's about as good as you can hope for in a car of this age in Australia. You can see we've got 144,330 kilometres on the clock. We've got an aftermarket stereo, which I don't know how to drive. 5-speed manual. Back seats there. This is a bit of trim off the hatch. It should go back on. It was in the boot, but I haven't even attempted to put that back on. It doesn't really matter too much for what I'm doing. So let's go get a key in a second and start this thing up. So a quick look under the bonnet. So we're looking at a Toyota 4AFE engine, 1.6 litre twin cam engine, but it's the economy version as opposed to the 4AGE, which is the high revving performance version. It works just fine. I have had to replace that battery. I knew the battery was dead when I bought it. That is all I have done to this car. That is literally it. See the zip ties being utilised to hold the washer bottle in place. Looks like it's been replaced, and they probably broke the clips that hold it in. I'm fine with that. That will work. Yeah, let's get it started. Alrighty. Now, I actually haven't tried to start it since putting the new battery in, so boom. Classic Toyota easy startness. No odd sounds coming from the car. There's the slightest hint of some valve train noise, but it's cold and it's already smoothing out. So it runs, the lights work, everything works, bargain. Now, what I'm going to do is what I do for every car that I buy, and that's service irons. So, oil change first and foremost, along with the oil filter, which will be under there somewhere. Air filter, let's have a look at this one. Three clips, no, there's one under the back here. The airbox looks like it's been replaced. at some point. And the air filter looks new. So I won't be replacing that. So that saves me like $3 and 20 seconds of my life. Next thing will be spark plugs. I'll inspect them shortly, but my priority today is to get the oil change done and ensure that this thing is not going to blow up. It sounds like it's running fine. I imagine the plugs are okay, but I'll have a look at them at some point after I do the oil and see how we go. Now, what I'm doing here, I'm warming up the car. You can hear it's just getting up to temp, the idle's adjusting. We warm up the car so we can drain the oil, because as you warm up the oil, it gets thinner, which means more of the old oil will come out of all the gubbins and all the crap in the engine. So we'll give that a few minutes. I'll head down to Super Cheap Auto, pick up some oil. Actually, I think I've got enough of the oil I'm going to use here. I still need a filter, so that's going to be the job today. So she is running, she's pretty much up to temperature. Still sounds pretty smooth. Give her a rev. The thermo fan is working. The battery obviously, just got an east-west motor. And didn't miss a beat. So what you can see here, we've got no oil coming from this cover here. All the way around is, I don't know, some sort of residue over here. Looks like the plugs on the injectors are new, so that makes me think the injectors have probably been replaced at some point. Yeah, this looks to be fairly well looked after. I reckon this is a new wiper motor. This looks like new wiring to it. This unit, whatever that is, has been replaced. That's too shiny and new. Yeah, so this car I think has been reasonably well maintained throughout its life. It's got a full service history up to about 70,000 Ks, and then there's nothing more in the book, but it's looking pretty good so far. Like I said before, I think the airbox has been replaced. It's been, you know, it's probably split, got brittle and old, and split and cracked, and been replaced. If it's new, I'd be very surprised. Same here, this brake booster looks very shiny for a car of this age. We've got no oil spraying around, there's nothing on the bonnet in line with the belts, which is when any fluid comes down, it gets thrown up there straight away. So yeah, vents come off. Let's shut the old girl off. I am disappointed there's no tacho. I did notice it as soon as I got in it. The AC doesn't really work, but I don't care. Starts first time. Seems to run just fine. I have driven it around the street before I bought it. Drove it around the block, and that was it. So I turned up to the dude's house. I think they wanted $2,000 or 2,200, and I turned up with a trailer. So he knew I was serious, and when I offered him 1,500, he took it straight away. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good buy. Now, I do like these old cars, these old Corollas. I prefer the short body sort of hatch back sort of thing to this particular one, which is like the facelift model. It's the same chassis, but this is what was available. So that's what I got. I do have a few little plans. Like I said, I've got to replace the tyres anyway, so instead of putting new tyres on those terrible old 13-inch rims, I've got some new wheels coming. ordered them last night. Engine wise, we will just be doing regular normal maintenance, and I'll show you what I do there. I don't know if this video is going to contain any of the actual maintenance, but I will be going and getting the oil done. Like, I'll be going and buying the bits I need very shortly. There's a couple of aesthetic minor upgrades you can do at the front here that are very quick, easy DIY. I have no intention of making this a show car or extra shiny or anything like that any more than what it is, but I can make it look slightly less like a washing machine and something more like something you're not going to be embarrassed to be seen in. We do have a split in the paint here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. I really don't want to go to the effort of painting, because of what I said before, I'm not looking to make this thing some cool looking, you know, retro build thing. I do have some plans to just make it pop a little bit and not look completely stock, but that's as far as I really want to go with this. Otherwise I will have tripled the value of the car with parts I would have to put on it. Worst bits, we've got some wear through on the top here. Now, I don't know what's happened, but this definitely looks like it's been sanded, and I don't know why. You can see a tiny bit of surface rust just there, and there is one rust spot under here on the inside. I won't show you, but that's it. That's all the rust I can find, all the proper rust. There's a little bit of surface rust in a couple of areas where you would expect. Now, I am 7,000% certain that this, it's not too hot to touch, this is not a stock item, so I've got to investigate what they've done exhaust wise. It sounds fairly stock. It just may be a tip or something that's been chucked on, but someone's paid some attention to the exhaust at some point in this car's life. Oh, and it's definitely taken a small hit here at some point, and the bumper is bent in here. Now I reckon I can fix that. That's too much drama, probably without even removing the bumper. There are big gaps here, but this is how they are from factory. Big panel gaps, and they had to do that for Australian conditions because of the severe temperature conditions we have here. So you see like bits of rust here. It generally is reasonably tidy. Most of the fabric's still intact, not ripped or torn, but all the plastic's dead. Yeah, so I will figure out whether or not I stop this video here and just put something up for the sake of putting it up and introducing the car, which is probably what I'll do, or do the oil change, which I'm going to do now, but that'll probably make the video way too long, so I'll split it into two and maybe just put this up midweek and put the oil change up on the Friday. I've been very busy with work. I've got another contract, so this one should last a bit longer, and I should be able to settle down a little bit once I get over the hill. Just done 2 weeks, so I'm pretty close to getting over the upfront load on those contracts, or on that contract. It involves multiple projects. Anyway, yeah, very happy with my buy. If you saw anything wrong with the car, let me know, because I don't, aside from the things I already pointed out. Looking forward to get this thing on the road. Again, none of this is preventing or stopping the Skyline progress. I've got things in place working away in the background on that, but at the moment I can't go any further forward. I've got to do a couple of things myself, and then I can just sort of pull the trigger on that very, very soon and have that ready and running in on the track, hopefully without too much more delay. That is assuming that there isn't something catastrophically wrong internally in that engine that's causing it to run poorly, but I don't believe that is the case. Anyway, peace out.